Hey Aries, how's it going? It is May 23rd and I'm here to do your reading for the week. This is a very big week, so I wanted to start off with the astrology first, particularly of this full moon eclipse, total eclipse that we have coming up on the 26th. Saturn goes retrograde today, and Mercury squares Neptune. And then on the 26th, I'm just looking at my notes, on the 26th we have a full lunar eclipse in Sagittarius. And then on Saturday, everybody's favorite moment, Mercury goes retrograde in Gemini. So that will definitely be a party in and of itself. So looking at the Sabian, eclipses. What are eclipses? They are moments, they're kind of like fast forward moments. So in the movies when you have to get from point A to point B and they don't have a lot of storytelling time, so they kind of rush through things. That's what an eclipse can do. It can give you a nudge, which is like a push off the cliff, an energetic nudge to do something that you've been meaning to do for a while, or it will cause a situation in your life that forces you to take decisions that you've been kind of sitting on for a while. Breakups, and there's always something that comes to light, right? Or something that gets eclipsed out. This is a moment when a lot of people can leave us. Both can leave the planet and transition back into the energetic world, or can leave us in terms of there's always lots of divorces that happen around an eclipse. People find out about affairs and stuff like that. So things tend to come to light. Things tend to get eclipsed out. And usually they're always course correctors. They always put you where you are supposed to be and maybe have been not taking the necessary steps that you need to. And it's just kind of a little push, like I said, off the cliff from the universe. Now, some eclipses are meaner than others. The Capricorn Cancer ones are really a bitch. The Sagittarius Gemini ones are frenetic because they're mutables, and mutable signs are like, I'm hot, no, I'm cold, no, I want this, no, I want that. So it's information overload. And you can be kind of like also flipping back and forth between, no, I want to do this, no, I want to do this, no, I want to do this. Or people around you can. And that can be making it very difficult to take a path because the pieces are consistently changing. Now, the Sabian symbol for the moon in Sagittarius is a cricket game. And the Sabian symbol for the sun in Gemini is an oil rig. Now, usually the Sabians are quite poetic and a little bit more detailed, where you can kind of like navigate in the words and find meaning in them. And these are really direct, right? Cricket game, oil rig. So you kind of have to dig a little, which is part of the message of this eclipse. Now, a cricket game is, unless you're from one of the Commonwealth states who practices or who plays cricket, for me, it's like the only thing I know about it is it's kind of like baseball, only it lasts an eternity, because I've heard that they can last up to 4 or 5 days. There are 42 laws of cricket. I did some research on this yesterday. So there's it's a very detailed, rigorous game, and the laws are held at the Marylebone Cricket Centre in London, and it's ritualistic, as all sports games are, but cricket is, to me in particular, to someone else it won't be, but it's something that's foreign, so very foreign, mysterious, not clear on how it's played. I don't think I would sit and watch a cricket match for 5 days, but I know that people, like any sport, they go nuts over it. So let's archive that for a second. Then we have this oil rig, right? What do oil rigs do? They dig deep for oil, finding deep treasure, going down deep to get the money, but also to get the goods. And so I was kind of thinking about how these two energies work, especially because we have Gemini is all about information coming from your immediate circle. So like information from your friends or gossip or things that you learn in your community. It's very sort of concrete, quick information. Whereas Sagittarius is knowledge, right? It's where you seek knowledge. Maybe you or you look from a different perspective, not your sort of comfortable perspective. You can flip things on your head. When you enter into Sagittarius, you seek out philosophies, you seek out religions, you seek out foreign lands, things that are not part of your day to day, which is what Gemini is, things that are exceptional, things that you have to travel to understand, to move somewhere to understand. So there's these two dynamics at play. And so one of them is very much about playing by the rules, right? Learning the rules of the game, and then learning how to play the game. And it may be a long process, like cricket, but let's say once it's over, you are the richer for it, richer in spirit and in information. And then Gemini, that degree there tells us that whatever we want or the information that we need, we're going to have to dig for it, and perhaps a little bit deeper than we would normally. So I wanted to give kind of like a scenario of something that was going on in my life, actually in my friend's life. He is a very dear friend of mine. He has just started a company with this other person. The other person is a mutable sign. And I warned him at the beginning, I was like, make sure, because he is a Taurus. So I said, make sure that every single thing you do is written in stone, in concrete, agreed by both. Because at some point, inevitably, the mutable signs reinterpret what's been said. Or there's new information that comes to them where they see the old information in new lights, and they're like, no, changing things, which can be difficult when the agreement is your business contract. So they apparently had this spoken deal, which is always my rule number one, never ever handshake agreement. They had this spoken deal, and as it turns out, the mutable sign now is putting all of the original clauses into question. He doesn't think that they're valid anymore, because it would put the weight on the other person. So my friend was like, no, I actually wrote this down. And he ended up having to go through his emails for 12 hours and didn't find it. The dig deeper, right? And I said to him, I was like, you know what, go back and look again. Maybe look someplace you weren't expecting. Maybe look someplace like, you know, where you would normally store things, something exceptional. And he ended up finding it. So I tell this story as a little microcosm. So this is one of this crisis moment now in their relationship, typical eclipse, is going to cause them to redefine the terms of their engagement. And they may make a decision, you know, he could make a decision to just walk and be like, because the other person is expecting him to put all the money into it. Or perhaps he's looking to be bought out. But either way, this conflict of understanding of information has forced a choice point where each one, things will shift after it's over. Now, this eclipse is also Mercury and Venus are both square to Neptune, which I never really love because it causes misunderstandings. The information is not clear. Someone is not on the up and up, and there's a choice, right, that has to be made between what we want, like what's right to do or what's true and what's real. And they're both immutable signs. So two mutable positions squaring each other is a whole lot of confusion. So some of the key words, getting to the point, especially with Saturn going retrograde today. Now, and Saturn is all about the rules. And we have this cricket game image that's saying, hey, learn the rules. You're involved in foreign territory. You're involved in a game that you may not know how is being played. You're going to have to learn the rules. And it may be the eclipse that teaches you the rules, whether you wanted to learn them or not. And then we have Mercury going retrograde, and then we have the sun in Gemini at the oil rig telling us to dig deeper, that the information is located way further down than we're used to getting information. So some of the notes that I've, keywords, phrases, things like that, is play by the rules, and you're going to have to dig deeper. Do your own research, and also get out of your echo chamber, right? Just because you've heard it from your immediate community does not mean it's true. Gemini is about staying in your community. Sagittarius is about getting out of it. Don't settle for petty gossip or things people have told you. Go find out for yourself. Seek the truth. Stick to objective data and not conjecture. So yes, misunderstandings, misinterpretations, mutable signs highly active here, which means that people may be suddenly changing their minds. Then there's going to be something about like having to sniff out the truth, a conflict that will get to the truth, which lies deep. The truth is buried deep. Consequences of where rules were not followed, misunderstandings regarding the rules of play, misunderstandings over money, because there's that Venus square Neptune, working overtime to find the proof, evidence that makes the difference. And then I think that's it. Not a time for game playing to see what happens. Oh, right. Because, sometimes we can like play a little game, be like, let me just see what, like I want to test their affection. So I'm going to like fake break up with them kind of shit. This is not the time to play games, like to test people like that, because you may be surprised at the answer that comes back to you. And one of the key points is that anything that happens under an eclipse is final. So if you don't want to get rid of that person, don't say you do, because they will not come back. And this is also one of those times where you need to be prepared to 100% stand behind the words that you say, because they have significant weight in this moment. Okay, so that's enough. Let's get to the cards, right? Drop this down. Move my computer, and so I had this crazy allergy attack last night. I had finally gotten over them, and then I had this attack that's been bothering me for 12 hours. So what is overall, okay. Perseverance, right? So that's what I said. Dig deep, go harder. Don't necessarily give up. If you can't find it the first time, or if you don't succeed the first time, specifically right now, try again. Because again, the things are mutable. So the energy's shifting, changing every minute. It's one of those things where you like may look for your glasses in the house and everywhere and you can't find them. And you take a break and you go, and they were like exactly there. Nothing else changed. It's just your mindset shifted in the meantime. Okay, so now let's get the challenge. This is also words of encouragement here. You see they're sort of like talking to each other. Allow yourself to be encouraged, or seek out encouragement, or seek out the knowledge that you need to go deeper, right? Or to keep you going forward. Not yet. Can I get the challenge energy for Aries, please, for the week of May 23rd? Oh, I have 2 friends' birthdays today. I forgot. All right, I'll take it. Now it doesn't want to come out. Okay, so 10 of Pentacles, sorry. 10 of Pentacles challenge energy. Now, in the normal tarot, this is material satisfaction, right? So may have a hard time like feeling happy family. Here it talks about unity and the ultimate collective. So we may have a hard time feeling part of the collective. We may have a hard time knowing who, or feeling part of a tribe this week. I actually want to get another card because I feel like there was something else that wanted to come out too, since that one was getting stuck there. Can I get the challenge energy? All right. Okay. I love this deck misbehaves. Okay, and there it is. That's what I thought. Here's the transformation. This is a very eclipse card here. High Major Arcana. This is about shifting, and this is actually the death card. So there may be a death of who the collective you believe you belong to. There may be a transformation in how you see your place on the planet. Eclipses are also, particularly in this time, since it's Sagittarius, this may be a moment of awakening. People who are sort of energetically coming to, seeing the earth from a different level. So some of you may be having ascension symptoms and having ascension flu, which, you know, looks very much like an illness, but is actually your body sort of leveling up. Of course, I don't give medical advice. Talk to your doctor. But this is a shift in, also, I want to say, like, the universal perception. How everybody sees, how everyone sees their relationship to each other and to the earth. And there's going to be sort of a dramatic shift in this. I don't know what happens. But there's a transformation that may be discouraging because, you know, again, there's sort of this need to persevere and to push through and to dig deeper for the information, which is what, you know, eclipses can sometimes be a little bit shocking and unwanted. Sometimes they can be good, but it's usually more challenging than not. But let's get the lesson energy. What's the lesson? Week of May 23rd. Awakening presence. So that's what I said. Some of you may be actually having a spiritual awakening right now. The universe is with you. Wear a cloak of protection and love. So yeah, definitely some information coming in. That's for sure. A shift in perspective. It may be discouraging. It may not be the answer you want. It doesn't mean that it's the answer that you want isn't there. It's about pushing through and getting to it. But you see also how he's like, on one hand he's cloaked and on the other hand he has this light thing. So really about a shift, a very clear shift in perception, in how we see things, in what we see. Let's keep going. Like, it's kind of like you're not going to see things in the same way after this week. And it's interesting because there's these two cloaks, right? She has this cloak flying here behind her, and he has his there as a protective thing. So you might, I did a reading yesterday, which was talking about very much being energetically shielded. So maybe finding also protection or solidity in your community, right? If you're feeling isolated, reach out to someone else. Look for somewhere where you can find protection and love, either in words, in friends, or in a community. Oh, and I just saw this. You see, I mean, I see this when I need to. You see, there's the sagomar, the shadow of a face here, and that the phoenix is charging that person energetically from above. Very powerful energy. All right, let's get beginning and ending energy, please. 2 cards for beginning and ending energy. Okay, so the thinker, that's going deep, getting that knowledge within yourself also, or perhaps also reflecting on something that you've heard. One more card, please, for the end of the period. Oh, and this was the card that wanted to come out before also. Flexible. So this is a 10 and a 1, so ending in a new beginning. So to not be interesting, also having to like move with the energy, right? Having your 2 cloaks, being able to put one on, take it off, being able to shape shift, being able to be a part of the collective and an individual at the same time. Like not, and again, because everything is mutable, the fixed signs will have a harder time dealing with this energy. But the more you can stay malleable and the more you can persevere despite what comes up. This reminds me, I've been a little bit obsessed with this John Mulaney divorce situation. I don't know why. But so his wife, or the Anna, the artist, his soon-to-be ex-wife, she apparently has been posting on Instagram for some time, 6 of Cups, about that no one knew, right? Because they didn't announce their divorce until a couple of days ago. And she had been posting these very lonely, isolated, very harrowing photographs on her Instagram. But, and of course, she got information that changed her whole universe, her relationship to others and to the universe. And she's been doing these things with like lots of fabric and these very long, elaborate dresses. And she's been telling her side of the story without us knowing what was going on for some time now. And apparently I didn't follow beforehand. But she scrubbed her Instagram of anything that had to do with them, with John Mulaney. And all she has put up now is her artist photos. She changed her last name back to her maiden name, and her entire existence has been rearticulated as a result of someone else's decision. However, she is now being seen for not as John Mulaney's wife, but as an artist, and as an artist with actually a very powerful vision. And her art is getting the attention perhaps it always deserved, but was overshadowed by her role, it was perhaps cloaked by the role that she had as John Mulaney's wife. And now she's stepping into her own. So to me, that's kind of like the energy here. And I have to say, all of these pictures really just remind me of her Instagram. Take a look. There's some really beautiful pictures, actually. When you see the captions, it's interesting to see that those have been the clues, right? That she's been giving clues for 3 months into what's going on in her life. We just were missing the one piece to let us put it all together. That's kind of like, and here's the putting it all together with the constellations behind. That's kind of like what's going to happen now, is that there have been clues, and you kind of need to keep pushing, because there's one piece of information that's going to come in and make everything clear. All right, 2 more cards, please, for Aries week of May 23rd. It's interesting. All the other decks had cards flying out. This one doesn't want to talk. Okay. And there's the death card again, right in the middle. Death of a nostalgia, of an innocent view of the world. That's Six of Cups. Can I get one more card, please? For Aries week of May 23rd. All right, lots of cards. Hierophant, all about the rules, right? Playing by the rules, doing things by the book. Okay, Two of Swords, confusion, and then the Star card. So 3 major arcana plus a repetition of the death card here. To me, again, these are perspective shifts, right? It's going to sort of, it may change. There's an innocence here about the situation, and then there is confusion, right? So it's like any situation that you may have been very confused on or may not have been seeing in the right light is going to shift at this point. And it will be important to be flexible to the information that's coming in. And what's interesting is that they're both naked, these last 2 characters here, right? So it may strip you bare, but these are not unpleasant cards, right? The ones at the end. It's almost a renewal, right? There is a rebirth in here. Perhaps even a death to old paradigms or to old ways of believing. This can also be a death to a marriage. And so any kind of situation where maybe you've been confused about it and been looking at things with sort of semi-nostalgic eyes, or feeling nostalgic about something in the past that is keeping you confused today. My feeling is some sort of information. There is information to be had regarding this situation that may change the way you see it, right? And it will cause, there's going to be a break from the old and a break from the rules that starts a completely new chapter, a whole new you, a total new birth of energy, articulation, also a completely different shift in hopes and dreams here, right? This is rewriting your own vision of what's possible for you. Okay, and that's kind of where this perseverance card comes up here. So it's like, if you get negative information, if something ends, if there is a death to an old paradigm or a death to an old regime, it is because it is pushing, much like Anna, it is pushing you to like a new deal with yourself. And a new way of expressing yourself and allowing you to express you for who you are instead of being overshadowed by other people's expectations or by the rules of the game, right? So allow yourself to be a little bit flexible in this period. Like if you get unexpected or unwanted information, it's not a cause for broken. It's a cause for bend. So like bend, don't break is the advice that I would give you here. And I would also keep the attention focused on how is whatever is coming in helping me become more of who I want to be as a me, right? Not as a not necessarily as a we, but how is whatever is coming in, this information that's coming in, helping me to shine? Because this is about an actress, right? Who's like about to give up, and then she takes her next job, and the next job's the one that happens. So it's very much about like, don't give up, obviously, but also an unveiling of a whole new, more authentic you that comes as a result of something else, of walking away from something old, an old paradigm, old way of thinking, old relationship. And you'll know what it is because it's something that has you here. So whatever's got you like stuck and up in your thoughts is where there is old energy, and where the eclipse is likely going to supercharge it to wake up a whole new you, to a new relationship, a new way to be in the world, and also a new articulation of what material, in the sense of like tactile, material success means. Now, this is already getting crazy long, so I want to do one card for Mercury, and then I think I may stop there, actually. Okay. Okay, so we have the clouds, mystical. Now let's read this. So a wonderful gateway has opened up for you. I love this deck. And you are experiencing mystical occurrences. Do not discount these encounters as mere figments of your imagination. What you are witnessing is very real. Use your natural and psychic gifts to explore the esoteric realms. Allow the images you will see in the sky above and the loving voices you hear to gently guide you. Interesting, right? That's like both of these, the voices, in the sky, the people in the sky. Love this. As you become a visionary, you will experience the elation of connecting with the supernatural. Free yourself from worry. Find peace of mind through meditation. And journey with your guides and angels. Release control as you float into altered consciousness and defy laws of the physical. So many people aspire to a state of nirvana. You are on your way there. So incantation here is: a mystical kingdom exists in my mind. I seek the signs in the clouds, and there I shall find a touch and a whisper, the call of my name. As the clouds lift me higher, and there I shall reign. And then the final divinatory meanings here are: your imagination is key. What you are experiencing is real. Practice daily meditation. You are a spiritual teacher. Your guides are trying to tell you something important. Learn how to turn into the world of spirit. You are a natural psychic. So this is interesting. It says here, aeromancy or cloud gazing was practiced by ancient Babylonian priests. Banned during the Renaissance period in Europe and classed as one of the 7 forbidden arts, as interpreting cloud shapes and signs was considered too powerful a gift from the gods to the humans. Today, the only insight most people derive from the clouds is information stored in the cloud. So wow, so very interesting. Like I said, a lot of you are going to be waking up in this period, and it may be to psychic gifts. It may just be also waking up to a whole new set of who you are here. So hold on to, and remember, we have another eclipse coming up, a solar eclipse in 2 weeks. This one is the full moon on the 26th. So do pay attention to that energy, because everyone is going to be a little bit wonky this week. Wishing you the best, and I will talk to you next time. Take care.